to show you today inside the Stock Shot Show is if you were going to spend $10,000 on golf lessons in your lifetime, what you are about to learn right now is worth $9,950. This is the most important lesson you could possibly get in building a stock shot. And if you do not have this principle in what I'm about to talk about, you might as well just not even practice trying to get better, because if you don't have this, you don't have anything. And what I'm talking to you about today inside the Stock Shot Show is the principle of alignment. So let's just think about it. Let's take it to other sports. Let's say, for example, the camera was a basketball hoop. If I was sitting there shooting free throws and I was like this, and I was aiming to the right and practicing my free throws, do we all agree that it would be worthless to talk to them if I was coaching them on like how their wrist should flop and like they should put their hand in the cookie jar, right? That would be a worthless adventure. Or if I was, let's say, an offensive lineman and I was trying to get into a three-point stance against the defensive ends, and I would always set up like this and be off balance, working on hand techniques would be utterly worthless. And the same goes for golf. If you cannot align correctly, you really have nothing to build your swing upon. Now, what I'm going to tell you today in regards to the misconceptions or the problems that you have in alignment, if I was a betting man, right, and let's just say at the golf room we did 30,000 appointments in a year, right, 29,900 and like 900 of them, right, would do exactly what I'm saying right now. Like everyone does the same mistake, and there's a 9 out of 10 chance that what I'm talking about today, you do. Now, what happens when we have poor alignment? When the player sets up, and they're setting up to hit this shot, 160 yards, Plainfield Country Club, second hole, what they do is you would, maybe you would go behind the ball. We're not talking about a routine right now, but you would maybe go behind the ball, and then when you would walk in, right, you would walk in and you would aim your club face at the flag, then you would look at the flag and then aim your feet at the flag. Now, what you would do then is if you were checking your alignment, you probably wouldn't have this one down, and you were checking your alignment, you would then come back here, you'd put it on your toes, and you would look at this stick and you go, oh yeah, it's aimed right at the flag, good job. The problem is we don't play golf with our feet. We play golf with a club face, and the club is sitting to the side of us. So what happens now is that when we set up, like when we look at the flag, and then I aim my feet at the flag, right? Now what this does is it makes us aim parallel right to the flag. So if you were to look at this, you can see these lines are parallel. And if I were to put my club down on the ground, which now this is aiming at the pin, right? And I were to get a calculator, right? And we were to look at this angle right here. This angle would be about 11, 12 degrees, right? So not to bring back our high school math, but if I did 12 degrees times the tangent angle of 160, because that's how far we are, right? So 12 degrees times the tangent angle of 160, I'm aimed 34.01 yards right of the pin. 34 yards right of the pin. And I would be looking at my feet and I go, oh, I'm aiming correctly. Now, what ends up happening is this is where you've hit every ball in your life. So now your brain is really smart, really smart. Like when you're in your motor cortex, like hitting balls, your brain is processing 11 million messages a second, and you're super competitive. So now you're setting up like this, and you go, I need to make the ball go straight. So now you make a swing that makes the ball pull 34 yards like inside your body line. So now you're playing golf, and you're playing a sport and playing it across your body. There is no sport in my brain that I can think of that you should play it across your body. Like, fadeaways they're cool, but you shouldn't do it. A quarterback rolling out and throwing it across his body, like we're all like, no, don't throw it, that's an interception, right? So we never want to be doing anything across our body. We're always trying to do it like in front of us. Like if we roll out to a quarterback and I can throw it over here, that would work out. So what ends up happening is you go to the course and you set up what you think is parallel, but you're aiming right. Every player aims right. Every single one of them. Like I said, 9 out of 10. So now you aim right, and now here's the other part that's really killer, is if you were sitting here at the golf room or we were outside, right, and I do this with every student, right, I mean, I've been booked for 7 years I've been teaching, and I've taught every lesson of every day, never had an opening, and I always teach alignment, and to date, as God is my witness, to date, I've had 6 people get this right. 6. I'm still counting, and I'm still only on 2 hands, right? So now what ends up happening is you set up, this is parallel, and then I would walk out here, and I'd go, okay, John, I want you to tell me if you were setting up here and you felt like you hit a straight shot Tell me where to stop, right? And what would happen is you would put the, like I would walk across like this, I go, okay, tell me where to stop, where you would hit the ball, a straight shot would go through the noodle and into the hole. This is where you would put the noodle out in front of you, right? Like if we were outside in a range. And why that is because from my perspective right here, I'm looking and this looks like it would be a straight shot. So now you're aiming 34 yards right. Your brain perceives the target to be more left because you stand to the side of the ball, and now you make a swing that goes shallow, steep, and then you hit a shot that goes at the left noodle, hits like a pull slice, you get jammed up because you're close, you early extend, you flip it, you do all of those things, all because your alignment is poor. And that is what everyone does. It is like the epidemic of golf. So this is what we need to do. This is truth. And if you just did this, your golf swing, your ball flights would change dramatically. I mean dramatically, okay? So if you were outside, right, and you take your right arm and you aim your right arm at the flag as a right-handed golfer, this is where your club face is aimed. If you aim your left arm, don't go like this, left arm parallel to right arm, this is where your feet are aimed. So right now what you do is you aim your feet at the flag and then like you're all crossed up. Right? So now you got to like make the compensations like we just talked about. So when we're behind the ball and we're walking in, right? We want to aim our club face at the flag, right? So we want the club face essentially to be aiming at this noodle, which is right on the target line 5 paces out in front of us, right? And then from there, we want to then be looking parallel left. So to my eye, like coming out of my temple, this is where my eyes look to aim my feet. They look about 40 feet left of the flag, right? So now I'm setting up, I'm aiming my club face, I'm looking 40 feet left, and with my eyes up, I then take my alignment. And when we check our alignment on our heels, not our toes. Because our toes can be tricky because of the fact that we play with flared feet. So if I played with straight toes, which we shouldn't do, maybe toes would work. But because we flare our left foot like 40 degrees, our right foot maybe 15, 20 degrees based upon your mobility, like when you look down like this, even though I am square, when you look down, this will look open. But it's not open. Open meaning to the left. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to swing, and I'm trying to basically aim my club face at the left noodle. I'm looking 40 feet left. I'm starting it on the inside the right noodle and then curving it back to the flag. And what's crazy is when you do this, right? And it's hard to in here to kind of inside to give the perspective of it, right? But if we were outside, and you could do this outside, you'll really be able to tell, is when you're setting up, when I'm looking at this right noodle, it looks like I'm starting a ball over here, but I'm not. I've done all the trigonometry, right, like we did before, and essentially if you can get a ball to start inside this gap, your club face is basically between 2 and 4 degrees, right? And then if you can have your path, so it's 2 to 4 degrees, like open to the target line, then if you can have your path a little bit to the right of that, basically ideally double, so if your face is 2, your path is 4, if your face is 3, your path is 6, if your face is 1, your path is 2, then the ball will start right, curve left, and not overcurve the line. And you'll be amazed at how much better your golf swing will get in just this setup. You're going to go, oh my gosh, like I need to turn more, I need to get deeper, I got to get shallower, like I got to swing out, like I got to shift my weight to my lead foot. All those things that you want to do in your swing, they will almost happen organically because your brain is sending a message to your body, which is then sending a message to the club, which is then sending a message to your ball, which ultimately will send a message to your scorecard, and your scorecard will change. And if you don't have this concept, like if we go in and we start working on backswing and we get depth and all those different things, but your alignment's not good, you are not going to be good. We have to master this. Like we have to be hitting balls on the range with alignment 6 down all the time. Every single time you're practicing your golf swing, you have alignment 6. Every single time. When we're going through our program and our block practice, that has alignment 6 down. A great product that you could go use is a product by Tour Aim. And they basically have it. We have it right over here. And you can set and get perfect alignment every single time to make sure you're managing it, right? So you would have your Tour Aim sticks. You maybe put a alignment stick up in front of you, 5 paces on the target line, and then another one to the right. And now you are getting yourself to hit a stock shot. And that's why when you look at golfers, and they've got like the worm cam down on the PGA Tour, you notice that every ball starts right. And you're like, oh my gosh, he just hit it in the grandstands. and then it curves back and it goes to the flag. Because every player is starting a ball right of his body lines. No one starts it left of their body lines. Because if they did, they probably wouldn't be on tour. Now, there might be one or two, but like those guys are probably really good putters and chippers and not great ball strikers. The great ball strikers, whether you hit a fade or a draw, they still start it right. So like Lee Trevino would aim very left, and we're not going to talk about cuts right now, or John Rahm or these guys, they would aim left. The ball still starts right and then push cuts back to the flag. So the ball has to start right of your body lines. It cannot start left. And to remind you, for those that are using technology like TrackMan's, right? The TrackMan doesn't know where you're aiming. It just knows what 0 is. So if you're setting up like this, and you're like this and swinging, and you go, my TrackMan numbers say I'm too shallow and from the inside. No, you're not. The TrackMan is just measuring 0. So that is why video is the ultimate judge, right? A picture is worth 1,000 words, which is where if you don't know what you need to be doing, you can always jump into the Stock Shot Club. My team can take a look at your swing and tell you what you need to do so that you can get better and get this ball to start right, or where you're aiming with your alignment. So you can always go do that at stockshotclub.com, right? We're there. And you can even try for free, okay? So this is this principle on alignment. Maybe, as you can tell, I'm super passionate about the most important thing that I teach, right? Most important thing that I teach is this lesson. So we have to get it. So go rewatch it. Be sure to subscribe, like it, send it to a friend for the dude that you play golf with on the Saturday and you're like, this dude always aims to the right. This lesson's for him. So the only way this grows, that we can help players build more stock shots, is if you share the truth as to what we need to do to build stock shots. So send it to a buddy, like, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in to the Stock Shot Show, and we'll see you back here next time.
What if you could build your own stock shot in just 21 days and it was completely free? Well, now, if you go to stockshotchallenge.com, you can do exactly that. Head over to the website and start building your stock shot in just 21 days.